The cold mist crawls between dead oak trunks. Silence breaks only with the rustling of dry leaves under a heavy wind. At the back of a clearing covered in tall grass and weeds yellowed by the rust of time, emerging from abandonment stands an American 440 locomotive from the mid-1850s, motionless like an iron carcass. The classic silhouette reveals unmistakable proportions. The horizontal cylindrical boiler, nearly 4 meters long, extends just above the low, wide chassis, supported by 2 large rear driving wheels with cast iron spokes interspersed by 2 smaller front wheels under the small articulated bogie. The black conical smokestack hangs tilted to the left, its edge corroded into irregular teeth. The open cab at the rear has no complete roof, only 2 twisted side pillars. The metal sheet side walls are warped, torn in places, with fist-sized holes. The large round brass headlamp mounted on the front of the boiler has lost its glass and lens, leaving only the empty, jagged rim. The connecting rods linking the driving wheels are bent and oxidized, some disconnected. The curved metal fenders that protected the rear wheels now hang loose, held by only 1 bolt each. The front bumper is a thick horizontal iron bar, warped in the center and covered with greenish moss. The external steam cylinders are cracked and empty, with piston rods projecting outward, rusted to the core. The visible chassis beneath reveals crossed iron I-beams, several broken or missing. Inside the cab, the double-door firebox stands open and empty, filled with dirt and twigs. The rudimentary control panel of brass valves and levers has almost completely disappeared. The floor of thick wooden planks is rotten, with planks missing and others sunken. Iron chains hang from the sides. The rear spoke wheels are buried up to their hubs in wet earth. The original paint, possibly a brick red with golden details, was devoured by rust and time, leaving only irregular patches over the corroded dark gray metal. Thin roots climb up the sides of the boiler. Dry branches rest atop the cab. A deep diesel engine sound tears through the silence. Between the bushes emerges an old wrecker truck with a high chassis and rear tilting platform. The vehicle stops 10 meters from the locomotive. Worn leather boots step onto the wet earth. Hands gloved in thick canvas examine the locomotive's chassis, touch the buried wheels, test the resistance of the sidebars. Fingers run along the boiler's cracks. The hand taps the crooked smokestack. Hollow sound, metallic, deep. The boots walk around the machine, stop before each wheel. The hands unroll a thick steel cable from the winch's spool, drag the end to the front of the locomotive. Agile fingers pass the cable under the chassis' central beam, make 2 firm turns, secure the safety hook. Another cable is fixed at the rear. Wide industrial nylon straps are positioned under the boiler. The hands check each knot, each tension. The winch's motor awakens with a low growl. The cable tightens slowly, fibers straining, metal groaning. The locomotive resists, wheels gripping the earth. A wet, sucking sound as the front wheels break free from the muddy grip. The rear wheels follow, slowly emerging, dripping dark water and clay. The machine is dragged meter by meter toward wooden planks laid on the ground. When the locomotive finally rests on the planks, the winch stops. Wooden ramps are positioned from the planks to the truck's platform. The winch engages again, pulling with measured force. The locomotive's front wheels climb onto the first plank with a deep groan of wood under iron. The boiler sways slightly, chains tightening to stabilize. The rear wheels follow, grinding against wood grain. Metal scrapes, wood creaks. When all wheels rest fully on the platform, steel pins lock it in place. Additional straps cross over the boiler. The truck's engine rumbles to life. The vehicle lurches forward slowly, suspension groaning under the weight. The locomotive sways gently with each bump. The truck rolls down a narrow dirt road. Kilometers pass in silence except for the diesel's steady drone. The road widens, becomes paved, transitions into an industrial zone. The truck slows, turns into a wide alley. At the end stands a massive hangar with sliding doors. The gloved hands unlock a heavy chain, push against one door with effort. Metal scrapes concrete with a grinding shriek. The door slides open slowly, revealing darkness within. The truck reverses carefully. Inside, the hangar is vast and empty. Concrete floor stretches 50 meters. High windows near the ceiling filter pale light in dusty columns. The truck stops in the center of the space. The engine dies. The platform tilts hydraulically, lowering to ground level. Fresh wooden blocks are positioned on the concrete floor. The locomotive descends backward, wheels meeting the blocks with solid thuds. When all weight rests on the blocks, straps and cables are removed methodically. The truck pulls away, exits the hangar. The sliding door closes halfway, leaving a rectangle of daylight. The locomotive stands alone in the vast space. A metal toolbox is dragged across concrete. The lid opens with a rusty squeak. A wire brush is selected. Work begins. The brush scrapes against the front bumper bar, removing layers of moss and surface rust. Green flakes fall, exposing darker metal beneath. The motion is methodical, rhythmic. Hours pass. The brush moves to the front wheel fenders, attacking oxidation. Rust dust clouds the air. The brush works on the boiler's cylindrical surface. Each stroke removes years. The headlamp's brass rim receives attention. Green patina scraped away to reveal dull yellow metal underneath. Work continues on the smokestack, cleaning around the corroded rim. The connecting rods are brushed clean. Each spoke of the driving wheels receives individual attention. Day fades. Fluorescent tubes overhead flicker to life. Work continues without pause. Water from a hose sprays across the boiler's top, washing away loosened rust and dirt. The water runs red-brown, streams down the curved sides. The spray continues, methodical. Water pressure loosens stubborn patches. A stiff, bristled push broom scrubs while water flows. When the water runs clear, the hose is coiled. Compressed air blows water from crevices and joints. The locomotive gleams wetly under the fluorescent lights. A trouble light is hung from a rafter. The figure lies on a wheeled creeper, rolls beneath the locomotive. The light reveals the chassis in detail. I-beams with stress cracks, bolts sheared off, cross members bent. The damaged smokestack is examined closely. The connecting rods are inspected joint by joint. The driving wheels are jacked up one at a time. Each wheel is spun by hand, checking for wobble. Broken spokes are marked with chalk. Disassembly begins. The headlamp assembly is unbolted, set on a workbench. The smokestack requires cutting. A cutting torch ignites. Metal glows red, then white. The bolt yields, sparks cascade. One by one, the bolts are severed. The smokestack is lifted by a chain hoist, lowered to the floor. The connecting rods are disconnected. Each pin requires heat and force. A heavy hammer drives them out with ringing blows. The chassis is addressed structurally. Cracked I-beams are cut away with an angle grinder. New beams are positioned, clamped, checked with levels. A welding mask is lowered. The arc welder ignites. The electrode traces along the joint, metal fusing. The weld cools, is ground smooth. Days pass in a rhythm of cutting, fitting, welding, grinding. The boiler receives attention. Small cracks are prepared for welding. The welding is delicate work. The firebox interior is wire-wheeled until bare metal appears. The smokestack is worked over with hammers and dollies. The dents are tapped out from inside. The corroded rim is cut back, a new ring fabricated and welded in place. The connecting rods are straightened in a hydraulic press. Surface preparation begins. The chassis is ground smooth. An orbital sander attacks high spots. The boiler's exterior is sanded entirely. Hours become days. The metal transitions from rough to smooth. Primer comes next. The chassis is wiped clean. A spray gun is filled with red oxide primer. The first pass is thin, even. The metal disappears under uniform red coating. The primer cures for days. The original paint scheme is recreated. Brick red for the boiler and cab, black for the chassis and wheels, gold accents for trim. The boiler is painted first. Deep brick red is sprayed in multiple thin coats. The smokestack receives glossy black. The chassis is painted black. The firebox doors are black, hinges gold-leafed by hand. Thin gold lines are hand-painted along the boiler's length. The paint cures, the locomotive transforming from relic to jewel. The interior of the cab is rebuilt. New floor planks are cut from aged oak, fitted precisely, bolted down. The wood is sanded smooth, treated with linseed oil. The control panel is recreated. Brass valves are machined to fit. Lever handles are forged, polished. Pressure gauges are installed. A simple wooden bench is constructed. Brass chains are rehung, their links catching light. Reassembly is meticulous. The smokestack is lifted, lowered onto the boiler top, aligned precisely. Bolts are tightened. The headlamp assembly is bolted back. A new glass lens is fitted. The connecting rods are reattached to the driving wheels. The bogie assembly is rolled back into position. The weight settles onto all wheels evenly. The fenders are reattached. Every bolt is torqued. The locomotive is complete. The locomotive is positioned in the center of the hangar. A trickle charger is connected to a hidden battery. The firebox doors are opened wide. The battery's power is engaged. A small electric motor hums to life, turning gears that rotate the driving wheels. The wheels turn slowly, spokes rotating, connecting rods reciprocating. The motion is smooth, silent. The wheels stop. Silence returns. The comparison begins. The camera captures before and after, the bumper warped then straight, the headlamp empty then complete, the smokestack tilted then vertical, the boiler rusted then painted, the spokes broken then whole, the panel torn then repaired, the planks rotted then solid, the doors stuck then swinging, the rods bent then straight, the chains dull then shining. The final shot is a slow pan around the completed locomotive. The camera moves along the length. The the cab entering view, the wheels in perfect alignment. The locomotive stands in the center of the hangar, illuminated from above. Dust motes drift. No sound but the faint hum of lights. The machine is still, complete, restored. The image holds, then fades to black. Silence remains.